This channel just wouldn't be the same if I didn't talk about weird shit. I've never felt as good as I do when I meditate every day. And that's because meditation gives me superpowers. I can only really speak for myself, and maybe it's because of my age or where I live, but when I was a child growing up, it felt like the Mystic East was such a cool and crazy place. I know now that it's just a place filled with people with its own culture and traditions like everywhere else, but hearing about monks sleeping on beds of nails or doing crazy backflips makes them seem so much more badass than the traditional religious figures in the West. What I'm trying to get at is that I've always found Eastern shit to be cool. It's a classic rejection of what I grew up with for the new and interesting and unknown coolness of Eastern traditions which are just normal if you're born there. To this day, it's the reason I love sushi and manga and katanas over scones and football and straight swords like the filthy I am. And so this coolness drew me to meditation, and it really did give me superpowers. I'm trying to be droll, but meditation is one of the only practices I've come across which is almost universally enjoyed by those who try it, whilst also being an activity that is constantly talked about as having a positive impact on people's lives, with little or no negative consequences. A lot of people cite relaxation or a reduction in stress as one of the main benefits of meditation, but the reason I love it so much is because I see it as a completely empty and pointless activity. In a world where devotion to work and money worship is seen as one of the most impressive of achievements, where hustling is the height of coolness, and we are constantly being evaluated on how productive we are, it rightly feels like there just isn't enough time in the day to achieve the goals we set for ourselves in comparison to our peers. Even when you devote yourself to non-monetary hobbies, it feels like anything that isn't directly bettering you as a human being is a complete waste of time. It is exactly within this framework that meditation so forcefully apprehends our preconceived notions of society, the world we live in, and the meaning of our lives. And it so gently yet so powerfully breaks them over its knee like the man bat, and shows us the world we truly live in. By devoting time specifically to something so completely pointless, to just sitting there doing nothing, not thinking about solutions to our problems, or meaningless interactions we had with people we fancied years ago, and instead just sitting there and breathing, we see life as a human being as it truly is. An empty life is just as full as a busy one. There is no meaning in life beyond the meaning we give to it. If I can sit here in silence without having to earn money or produce something worthwhile, and the universe hasn't imploded in on itself, then I am truly free to do whatever I wish. Everything is just how it is, and every attempt to grasp at reality with ideas, including this one, will always end with an empty hand, like grabbing at air. Another reason I love meditation so much is because it forces the brain to survive without stimulation. We live in a truly insane time. We are constantly bombarded with information and stimulation from every angle. Before electricity was invented, the most stimulation you could get whilst out walking was a bird song or a conversation if you were lucky. These days, with the invention of the smartphone and high-speed mobile data connections, not only can I carry around an MP3 player with something like 20,000 songs on, but I can stream any song I want or listen to almost 1 million podcasts. At home, I have a computer and a PlayStation with hundreds of games each, a constant internet connection to watch the millions of amazing videos on YouTube or TV shows on Netflix, and a phone which constantly stays in my pocket, but more often in my hand, which can do all those things and also play GameCube games and text people and look up anything I want on the internet at any time. I'm literally using it to write this script, and I'll be reading from it when I record the audio you're hearing right now. I love YouTube, and I think there's a lot of amazing shit on this site, and I love games and music and everything else. But the ease of access to these things makes it so that it's almost like information overload, and my brain can't actually handle it. My brain has got to the point where it needs stimulation to function. When I cook, I listen to a podcast. When I'm at the gym, I listen to music. When I'm driving, I put on an audiobook. And when I eat, I watch TV. And when I'm not doing any of those things, my mind is racing from one thing to the next, thinking about what I should have said or how I should have acted. and meditation just gives a huge fuck you to all of that. I'm not going to lie, if you have a similar lifestyle to me, meditation is going to be pretty hard at first. Even for me now, the first few minutes are always tough as my skin starts to itch and I need to grab my phone and open YouTube. But as my brain slows down and I learn to move through my thoughts like a stream moves through rocks, time starts to slip away. My breathing slows and everything just becomes a lot more chill. And I realize that you can enjoy electronic shit without having to be constantly stimulated by it to feel okay. I'm sure there are better guides out there, but if you want to meditate, just sit down somewhere comfortable, put a timer on for anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes, and breathe slowly and deeply whilst counting from 1 to 10 over and over. If you find yourself at 40, like I often do, just start again at 1. The trick, if there is one, is not to fight against your thoughts, but to think them anyway and let them go, like you're watching clouds fly by high in the sky. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that you don't have to be doing shit all the time to be happy, and you don't have to be constantly stimulated to feel content. In fact, when you take that stimulation away, you might be able to appreciate the little things a bit more. I'm not your dad, and I wouldn't force you to meditate even if I was. But if you've ever considered that idea, or this is your first time hearing someone say they like it, feel free to give it a try. All you need is somewhere to sit. Being in the present moment instead of needing to improve yourself or stimulate your brain for even a few minutes is such a powerful experience, and that is the superpower I get from meditation, the ability to do nothing at all. Thank you to Jack Margolis and Gia Allen Bryan for their amazing guide on meditation. Thank you to Buddhist monks for being such badasses. And thank you for watching. Cheers.